Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter the Master of Hoppets. Today, joined by
Tobias, Major of Macros.
Yes, and today we're cracking some cans that's been long overdue. We got these two from Beerdome, so thanks a ton to Beerdome for the beers. I don't know if we got them in 2020. Maybe we did. I don't know, but they're from 2020 and they're from Lervig. And Tobias actually wanted to try these, but for some reason they were just stuck in the back of one of the beer cupboards, and I totally just forgot about them.
Yeah. The three bean stout is one of the old school Wales for me. It's one of the first stouts where I remember going
Yeah. I mean, that was. They still do it, I think, don't they? The regular one.
Yeah, I think so.
From time to time. Yeah. But yeah, it was one of the beers that helped put Lervig on the map, that's for sure. So, but yeah, we're talking about the two barrel aged versions of 3 bean. We got the bourbon barrel aged version and the rum barrel. They give this a best before date of. When did you say, Brett? Next
2025.
2025. So they should be okay. I'm sure the vanilla, Coke, chocolate maybe have faded a bit. I mean, from here I smell a lot of tonka. Still. So, where do you want to start?
Left to right?
Bourbon?
Or with the bourbon.
Let's start with the bourbon. So, what do you think of the color on this one?
Yeah, pitch black.
Yeah.
And then with this slightly off brown head.
Yeah, it looks a lot like. A nice rich stout. It's not like over the top as a lot of stouts are nowadays. And I guess this is an OG pastry stout. Yeah. Even though it's not really it's almost it's 3 different kinds of beans.
Yeah.
Vanilla beans, cocoa nibs, beans, chocolate beans, and tonka beans.
So I think, somewhat pastry in the form of cocoa and vanilla, but I find that tonka bean is not like.
No, sometimes pastry. It reminds me of sometimes some cinnamon, but I've also gotten sometimes flavors where it's like black pepper and it tastes like tonka. It's very unique.
And I find it also sometimes tastes like fresh baked rye bread.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Something like that. But what's also interesting with tonka beans is that they can be poisonous.
Oh,
so you can only consume them in small quantities. So now you know that. But yeah, looks nice. Let's check out the aroma. Yeah, the tonka definitely still shines. I'm actually getting mostly tonka on the aroma initially.
Yeah, same for me. Like this sweet licorice thing.
Yeah, I think there is nice undertones of bourbon. I don't think there's so much tonka that I think it hides the bourbon a bit, but I think there's a spirity vibe.
Yeah, definitely this slightly warming thing going on underneath the tonka.
I'm guessing in terms of development in the can, I don't know if it will develop really because it's a packed environment if it's with CO2 and everything in, but I'm almost smelling like an oxidative thing, but it's light, so it could be just from the small amount of oxygen there's in the can or whatever, because I think cans are fairly well sealed and protected for oxygen compared to a bottle. But yeah, it's very tonka. It's dark fruity for sure. There's definitely some hints of vanilla and chocolate, but yeah, it smells more like a spiced stout than it smells like a pastry stout.
Yeah, and also the cinnamon you talked about.
Yeah.
It could be fooled into that. The vanilla is more like this
soft,
like slightly sweet thing going on.
Yeah, and then some dark fruity raisin, figgy, pruny things, like fairly fruity actually. And cheers, and thanks to Beerdome for the beers. Quite pleasant.
Yeah.
Very smooth, very round, very soft. Sweetness throughout, vanilla. It's not that explosive of a barrel character, actually.
It's not.
I think blind, I would have a hard time picking it out. I think there's touches of it there, but...
And then it has this slightly drying oak character to it, especially in the aftertaste. But it's again, as you said before, it's not like this massive barrel character that we're used to from modern stouts.
I think it's really the tonka that does a lot of that. Yeah. I think the tonka really, it's super forward and it's super in your face. It's also surprisingly sweet for a beer like this. Like it's not like crazy rich or anything, but it's got a fairly high sweetness actually, almost like a candy syrup or something. And I think of the other adjuncts besides the tonka, I think it's the cocoa nib that's most dominant now.
Yeah, and then it has, to me, like a slight vanilla sugar.
Yeah,
like the taste.
But you know what? I think Lervig uses that well, at least they did in the beer that became Vanilla Shake. They used vanilla powdered sugar, which was a huge. I can actually see connotations to that now that you say it. There is a similarity of vanilla profile to Vanilla Shake.
Yeah.
Isn't there? It's been a long time since I had Vanilla Shake. I don't even think they do it anymore. But
yeah, and then the aftertaste also has this licorice note to me.
Yeah.
But more like like the roots.
Licorice roots.
Yeah.
Like a drying, woody licoricey type flavor, and then definitely oak barrel too. Like I think it's oak. You can feel some warmth going down, but because of especially the adjuncts, it's really hard to pinpoint that it's bourbon.
Yeah.
The big difference is this is 0.5% stronger. So the rum barrel is 12.5, and it looks very similar. I mean, maybe a slightly darker head.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a very.
And Brett also noted that the head is lingering a bit more.
Yeah.
Than the bourbon barrel.
Yeah, I can see that. So let's check out the aroma. Ooh, there's definitely more barrel in this one. And it's different. I think the tongue head doesn't shine as much with this. I'm getting more like really dark fruity, rummy aromas, almost like fruitcake.
Yeah, like rum soaked raisins.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Rum soaked raisins, and chocolates. There was also like Bassett's wine gums.
Yeah.
And licorice and dark fruit, almost like oxidative characters. It smells like a completely different beer, really, actually.
Yeah.
Which is quite insane.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
It's totally different. The tonka screams at you in the face in the regular or the bourbon, whereas the rum, it's like not really that evident. And this was also a 2020 release, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think both were, but the other one just has a 22. Well, probably has a 2020 stamp. Where that sticker is.
Yeah. It has to be two different batches. I mean.
Yeah, maybe just how the barrel works. I don't know if. I'd imagine they'd add vanilla, tonka, and coconuts after barrel aging, but maybe not. You never know. A lot has happened in the knowledge of barrel aging beer since 2020. I mean, maybe not that as much, but at least since when they did this the first time. But I'm not sure. And also compared to what they're doing with the Rack House series.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's try it. I'm actually getting more tonka now. I noticed more umami initially, much more rum soaked raisin type flavor.
Yeah.
I think the barrel shines more on this. It definitely is rummy. But the tonka is really light compared to the other one.
Yeah, I think this works remarkably well. Like rum beers, to me, kind of have a taste of like going overboard on the rum flavor. But this one, it's there, and you can definitely taste that it's rummy, but without going all crazy pirate.
Yeah. All crazy pirate. There's definitely great tasting note. There's definitely a little bit
attacking itself.
Yeah. Arrgh. There's definitely hints of vanilla. There's hints of coconut, and it's almost reminding me of the Bassett, or just like the lakridskonfekt. Bassett wine gum with licorice in the middle and then a yellow or a pink outer rim with coconut. I think I don't know what that's called, but there's almost like some flavor like that to me. I think I prefer the bourbon actually.
Yeah.
And that's just because the dark fruity rummy note, like I like it, but I don't know. Like I think rum barrels seem to be really hard to work with. I just prefer a bit more like chocolate and like maybe even some more roasty malt and whatnot, just to counteract a lot of the just like the dark fruitiness of it. Because I think there's so much dark fruit on this one and licorice, and it's nice. And as a European palate, I think it's really nice. But I think especially if you gave this to an American, they'd be thinking it was maybe too dark fruity.
Yeah. And it could also have been a bit thicker.
Yeah, both beers.
Yeah.
I'd say they're medium-bodied stouts by standards a long time ago. They would have been very full-bodied, but with mouthfeels and everything being pushed to outer limits, which is to some extent is also silly, they don't seem crazy rich. They feel rich to drink because they're slightly sweet, without being sugary at all. But they're not like really fat-based beers or anything. But it seems like they're doing more stuff like that with the Rack House. The Rack House seems to be beers where they go a bit more nuts. I think a 90 on the bourbon and a 89 on the rum. I think they're nice beers, but I'm just not that fired up about them.
Yeah, I'll jump in the same ship.
Yeah, like I think they're nice, but we've just had so many beers. We've also been spoiled with beers like this.
Yeah.
Like that are
The
basically.
analogy.
Yeah. Yarg! Walk the planky, matey. Arr. But yeah, I just think I've had better barrel aged beers. At least where I prefer more. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more when they were fresh. I don't know.
But still, it's fun to revisit an old classic
Yeah, they're good beers.
in new clothes.
Yeah, and it's still, I mean, it's still nice grades. They're good beers.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go nuts trying to pick them up.
Me neither.
But if you sat on these for 2 years in your cellar, it's about damn time to drink them. So.
Or maybe age a bit more to get some of the tongue out.
Yeah,
Who knows what it does to the beer.
I mean, just try and see what happens. Try and drink one a day before the expiry date.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks a ton to Beerdome for providing the beers. There'll be a link for the web shop down below. Fantastic web shop. Most of you guys know them by now. They have a crazy selection of beers, and they had these 2 years ago, and now they probably don't have them. But they just got loads of Transient. They had just another American release with the Rings of Splendor Brewery, a private press. Like, it's nuts. But yeah, if you guys had a chance to try the rum and bourbon barrel aged 3-bean stouts from Lervig, let us know what you thought of them. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're going to say cheers. Should we do a quick blend in the mouth? One sip of each?
Yeah.
That's actually not half bad. I actually taste more tonka doing that for some reason.
Yeah.
Cheers. And see you in another beer review.